the international community response and rejection of the settlements is the height of hypocrisy. Settlements didn't begin yesterday. Settlements in Palestine on stolen Palestinian land began in 1948. The settlement expansion, the colonization, the settler colonial project, which is the State of Israel, has been going on for 7 decades, and now suddenly the international community discovered that there's a problem. And it's only in the West Bank. In other words, if it's in other parts of the country, it's fine. I mean, nobody talks about Jerusalem, or very few people talk about Jerusalem. The Nakab Desert, very few people talk about the Nakab Desert. Massive ethnic cleansing, genocidal ethnic cleansing has been taking place in Palestine for 7 decades. There are these projects that Israel declares, the Judaization of Al-Jalil, the Judaization of the Nakab, the Judaization of Jerusalem. They all to Judaize everything, okay? Of course, we talk about secular people who wouldn't know the difference between a Jew and a non-Jew. But the point is, now suddenly the international community has woken up and they don't like the settlements, but only in the West Bank. On top of that, in other words, what's even more hypocritical is that the settlements in the West Bank didn't start yesterday either. They've been going on for 5 decades. And there is no West Bank. You know, talk of the West Bank as though it's an entity that exists is also hypocrisy, because everybody who's aware of the situation in Palestine knows that there hasn't been a West Bank in a very long time. Israel took the West Bank and began integrating it to the rest of the country, which it considered, the land of Israel, immediately. Immediately, before the 1967 war was over, entire villages, entire towns, entire communities were destroyed by Israeli bulldozers, and massive building began for Jews only in the West Bank, just like everywhere else. And then a large part of the settlements are part of the consensus. They're not even considered settlements. In other words, the expanded Jerusalem, expanded Jewish communities in the eastern part of Jerusalem are also settlements, but that's not considered settlements. The Jordan River Valley expansion settlements, they're not considered settlements. So 2/3 of the West Bank is basically not considered settlements. So this is complete hypocrisy. The reality that Palestine has been a single state from since Israel took over, but particularly since 1967, when Israel completed the occupation of the West Bank and Gaza and basically turned all of Palestine into Israel.